There we go. What is up, super fam and bro Varen alike? I am Sensei Finito, aka Vane Sensei, and welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. And today is the start of From Watcher to Reader Season 3. So make sure you guys join us as we embark on a 7-episode journey through the Wheel of Time, the Dragon Reborn, ahead of course, Prime Video's Season 3 release of the show that started it all here. Man, I have been enjoying the Wheel of Time so much. We took a little bit of a break. We read Mistborn, and now we are back at it to get right back into From Watcher to Reader Season 3. And I'm so excited to get into it tonight. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I have been such a big fan of this show, and through like the books, man. Like I'm really excited about it. So we're here, man. Tonight we are going to be checking out the prologue. This is episode 0, as many of you know. We're going to be checking out the prologue, doing some of the prologue discussion, maybe recap books 1 and 2 a little bit. I might be able to find a YouTube video on that somewhere, you know, and we can get a little recap of all the things that occurred within the last 2 books, especially because we took that little bit of a break and read Mistborn in between those. And I think that'll be fun. I think it'll be good to go. And I'm excited to check it out. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like the video because it helps out tremendously around these parts. You can also follow me on social media at Sensei Finito to stay up to date with all my thoughts, theories, and opinions on whatever particular thing I may be partaking in at that particular time. You can also follow us on all platforms at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with all things Marvel and everything pop culture. 2025 is going to be a crazy year filled with book club, watch parties, gaming, a whole bunch of things are going to be going on here at the channel. So make sure you guys are here, subbed up, dropping likes, sharing it on whatever platform you may be on, and don't forget to look for us because we might be there too. We're going to get into a little bit of chat talk, talking to chat, see how all y'all doing, and hope y'all talking back. I've seen the chat been going. Shout out to everybody that's here right now. I can't see at the moment because, you know, I'm cleaning my glasses. Bam, I'm back. Shout out to all you lovely people that's here chilling with me. I hope y'all can handle Vertical Sensei. I think I saw Mari Sue say it. I hope y'all can handle Vertical Sensei. I'm sorry that, you know, if it's an issue, but you know, YouTube and how their algorithm is working, they just don't care about. They're not tripping off of the horizontal stuff right now. So I'm you know, so that I just do what YouTube tells me to do. If you guys do want that horizontal look though, you can always go and check out the Twitch channel. I'm multi-stream now, so we're always live on Twitch at the same time. And Twitch does have that horizontal view that I know a lot of you guys may be used to. But I do apologize if that means you might have to make a new account for something or however that may be. I'm sorry about that. But the Twitch channel is in the YouTube chat down below. And again, that is there for you guys to go and check out if you would like to. You feel me? So let me know how y'all doing. Shout out to y'all. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. And I hope you're all ready to get into the Wheel of Time, bro. I'm really excited to get into this. You know, I got the little thumbnail going here. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited, bro. I don't know what the hell could happen with the thumbnail like this, bro. I think I saw KP ask me a question about something like that too. So we'll get into all that. And see how you guys are doing. I think I missed a couple chats when we first started it up. But Mari Sue said wheels up soon, and I love that. I kind of want to also you know, kind of, you know, tax you a little bit for it, but I'm gonna let it slide. So and then KP said, "Sup, my watcher to reader family. Hope everyone's week has been great so far. Mari Sue in the house. Hope you've been well. What's the over under? Usually if I set it for 3, it'll be 3:15 just because I know YouTube, the way again YouTube's algorithm is like if you set something for 3 o'clock, and then you push it to 3:15 or set it for 15 minutes back. Once it hits that time, it'll send it out to more of your subscribers and more people. So there's always that 15-minute window. And then I've been having so many freaking technical difficulties lately with like my sound and with like my new chat stuff that I'm using, like so much. But it's also due to the lack of space on my PC, so I have to get another hard drive. Just technical shit is going on right now, chat, and we're gonna handle that too. We're gonna handle all that soon, but we can't handle it right now. I mean, coming out of Christmas, all my children, and then of course, I don't know if you guys know, but three of my kids have birthdays in January, so that'd be a penny crunching time. You know what I mean? And it's a week apart. It's my daughter is the first, my youngest son is the seventh, and then my oldest son is the 15th. So bing, 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 back to back to back. So we're out here chilling. We're out here chilling, and we're gonna get it cracking. I wonder if Cindy can guess what is happening on the cover. No, I cannot, bro. Like I cannot guess at all. And what's up with the KP? What's up with the Marisu? What's up with it? No, was it Thatch? No, it wasn't Thatch. Who did I see in the chat? Sharice, what's up with the LBF? What's up with the LBF? How you doing? Everybody beware, dark friends are in the chat, so make sure you guys just watch out. I wonder if Sensei can get, but yeah, bro, I have no idea what's going on here. Like, this looks wild, bro. Like, I have no idea what's going on here, for real. Like, no idea, but it's probably gonna be wild. I know this. I can only imagine what this book is going to be like, man. Like, legit, I can only imagine. Who, what, and where? Those are all good questions. I'm not gonna lie. When will it come in the books? Ooh. My question is, what new POVs you're hoping to get? Because we'll be getting a few. Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, I'm really hoping to see. I feel like it's time for Lan, in my opinion. I feel like we have not got to see a lot of Lan in these books just yet. He's been very much kind of like a background character in a way, but he's also been, I don't know, like it's been very interesting, yo. It's been very interesting to see the dynamic of all of it, of all of the characters, how they've just kind of been interacting with one another. But I really want some more Lan. I would not be mad at more Moiraine either. I know in the show they split up for a little while. I don't know if that's what's going on in the book. I don't know if like we still have to get to a point like that, or if we're just past that part already. Because I know Lan, like we had that same moment where Lan like whoops the not the fades, but the eyeless. Are they called fades? When they pull up and he just whoops ass in the show way more than he whoops ass in the book. And I remember that being like, okay, interesting. So I'm really interested in knowing where we head from here. And I am ready for some more POVs. Y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know I love me some POVs. Which storylines are you excited to see get into for book 3? I want to see what we're going to be doing with Egwene. Honestly, KP. Like, I really want to see where we're going with Egwene. Her character is so different in the show versus the book, and I really appreciate her. I appreciate both versions of her, but you guys already know I've liked her more in the show. And then, of course, you guys know, bro, I'm all for Perrin. Like, I'm all in on Perrin, so I'm really hyped to see what's going to be going on with Perrin, bro. Like, Perrin is my guy, and from that trailer that we saw for season 3 as well, that just got me all hyped again for my guy Perrin when he has the axe and all the, bro. Like, yes, I'm ready for whatever. And I actually appreciate, like, the way I feel about Perrin is kind of how I feel about Egwene, but reverse. Like, I think I like book Perrin more, but I really like show Perrin, and then I like show Egwene more, but I really like book Egwene. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting dynamic between the show and the book, and I think there's definite lines in the sand. And we will not have any book cloak talk around here, but I'm just I'm hearing the man, the myth, the bacon. It's OmniPig. Yo, shout out to OmniPig, always pulling up, yo. Are there any locations in the world you are hoping to visit in book 3? The thing about this, right, is when I think when I think about the show and the books, no, from like the places that we've seen in the books have been so much more than what we've seen in the show. So I really don't know what I want to see anymore. If that makes sense. Like my mind has literally already been blown with what we've seen so far. So I'm like, bro, I have no like anything we see next is probably going to be amazing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. We gonna blaze through this? Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping to I'm hoping to kind of be able to condense how long it takes us to cover books going forward, like that, like 100%. Because especially once Cerise pulled up talking about she finished Wind and Truth in like 2 weeks, I was like, bruh, what are we doing? Taking months to finish books, and people is taking 2 weeks to finish books. Like we could actually be clearing some books, especially when it was like doing one book a quarter and stuff like that. It's like, bro, I would like to do more than that. So I'm gonna try to up the ante however we can. Vertical Sensei looks thinner. You've been working out, bro. A little something like that. A little something like that. The Great Lord's greeting. Straight dark friend talk in the first 30 minutes is diabolical. Really excited, you say? I think I can tax you for that one, right? Uh, Yo, what's up with the cow and spoon? Bro came through with the squirrel girl jokes yet again. My guy is a one trick pony. Come on, G. What's this? Happy birthday, mini senseis. Yo, appreciate you for that. What's this book going to be like? Well, you see, there's this dragon, and he's been like reborn. Facts, facts, facts. Hey, Marisu, I appreciate you for the playlist. I appreciate you for the playlist. Let me crack that open actually right now. Crack that baby open. Let's summarize the Eye of the World. And okay. So that's two of them. That's kind of long to watch both of them. So we'll just check out the Great Hunt one. We got to check out the Great Hunt before we get into the prologue for this book, because I'm telling you, my brain just needs that refresher. That's all I need. I need a refresher so I can be like, oh, and then we can go into it. Yes, I love Perrin, Marisu. Like Perrin is the guy, yo. Like Perrin is the guy. Let me know if this is too early for you guys as well. I don't, because I know some of you guys are in completely different time zones across the world. I know we usually do this at 5 p.m. PST, and this time around we're doing a 3:15 3 p.m. PST. Well, a 3 p.m. PST run just to kind of see how that goes, how that works out. You know, especially if we're hitting 3-4 hours. Which I don't know if we will. Like even like I think we've really got the hang of doing book club to the point where I don't think things will take as long, and I don't think we'll be like as not under managed. But we've done three different sets of book club so far, so I think we can really start zeroing in on the things to talk about and the things to discuss, and being able to kind of dissect these things in a much better way. I agree on both accounts with book versus show, Parent and Egwene. That's just how I'm feeling. Bro says Squirrel Girl and Kid. Yo, my guy Spoon. This has opportunity to be his favorite book. Oh, yo, that makes me excited. Yeah, that makes me excited. So far. Try the joke again. Third time is a charm. Let's try 9 chapters by next week. Let's try to get 9 chapters by next week. They go together. This is let me see. I know my guy KP had drops it in the chat on Discord, and I had kind of like taken it basically and lined it up. So this is order that we're gonna be. All right, come on, son. Image, new, and then let's go browse, download. There we go. Open. Bam. So this is going to be our let me see. Image 5. Bam. All right. So this is our lineup for our From Watcher to Readers series. This should also be going up on the channel at some point for all of you lovely ladies and gents, just so we can kind of get it rocking and rolling. So yeah, we'll have of course today episode 0, the prologue. We're gonna check that out, and then every week we'll get about. So next week it's chapters 1 through 12. Well, it didn't look like the last on Facebook. Yeah, that got to get taken down. I, I don't think we've been on I don't be on Facebook like that. So let me make sure to make sure that gets taken down and reposted. Uh, But yeah, so we got 3 p.m. PST weekly is what day we're going to try to start it up at. Then for January 15th, that's my son's birthday as well. So we'll do that at 3 p.m. a little bit earlier as well. It works out to be earlier because then we can spend the rest of the day. You know what I mean? It works out. It works out. School and whatnot and life and things. So that works out good. So we'll get that cracking around then. And then, so that's chapters 1 through 12 that we'll be doing. And then the following week, we'll be doing chapters 13 through 26. Following week after that, chapters 27 through 37. Then chapters 38 through 47. Chapters 48 through 56. And then, of course, finishing it up February 19th with the episode 7 recap just in time. Just in TV time. Sorry, hold on. Search. Let's get Wheel of Time up here. Wheel of Time. Oh, shoot. Boom. Just in time for Wheel of Time. Because that episode comes out March 12th. Actually, so we're gonna have a little bit of space between the two. So we'll have a couple of Wheelie Wednesdays. Let's see. We'll have a couple of Wheelie Wednesdays, right? Oh, we'll just have one Wednesday. No, two. Yeah. We'll have 2 Wednesdays in between when we finish the book versus when the next one the show will start at the very least. So we'll be able to talk about that and all of it. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited. No, what? We going 12? 12 what? Didn't did a split based on word counts and decent stopping points. Hey, KP, you always coming through with it, man. Big shouts out to KP. Uh, yeah, big thank you to KP. This is a good timing. This is a good timing for me since Dusty Will starts in 2 hours and 20 minutes from now. That's insane. Timing is wild. Having a time like that is wild, but I feel you. Considering how long we sometimes go, this is a good time for me to start. Yeah, sometimes it does go pretty long, but I'm hoping we can kind of condense everything quite a bit if possible, and I don't mean like tremendously condense it, but just like having a little bit more like have a time block a little bit more set in stone. So it's like, okay, we'll spend about this much time on each chapter, and then that way, once we're done, I can compile reviews. And of course, don't forget to go show some love to the Marvelous Reading channel, where all of these videos will also be going up chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter. So yeah. Let's see. March 13th is so far away, for real, yo. I'm pumped though. I can feel the Wheel of Time part of my brain tingling. Oh, brain lighting up. It's tingly. Yo, that's. I feel that though. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely feel that because, like, as we're talking about it and like we're getting into it and like all of the characters are, and all of the plots and threads, it's like, oh yeah, baby, I'm ready. I am ready for it. Like, I am so ready. I'm ready, yo. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good one. To prep for show recaps. Hey, that'll be dope actually. Ooh, that's actually a really good idea, KP. Finish up from watcher to readers, from watchers to readers season 3, right? Then in the middle of those 2 weeks, that first week can be a full season 1 recap of Wheel of Time. Then the second week can be a full season 2 recap of Wheel of Time, and then we could get into it with our season 3 watch party and review for the premiere. Oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds lovely. That's exactly what we're doing. I gotta write that down. Write that down. I definitely gotta put that down right here. Hold on. Um, so what would that be? That's February 29th? No, February 26th? Yeah. February 26th. And then March 5th, I believe, is the week after that. Yep. March 5th. And then that's Wheel of Time show recap. Oh yeah, baby. WKP, man. WKP, bro. Technically March 13th, but it's possible it might drop later in the day on the 12th in the States. Yeah, to be exact, the way it's been working for Wheel of Time, is they do I think it's a 3 a.m. release in GMT time, if I'm not mistaken. And that always equals it being midnight for me for PST. So, let me get to March here real quick. March 12th, right? Yeah. So on March 12th at 11 p.m. PST, we will be live on this channel to do our watch party for the season 3 premiere that will happen at midnight. At midnight. So yeah, it's not gonna have the 9 p.m. PST release. It has the midnight release. This go round, and I think it was like that for the last. It was either like that for last season or the season before that or something. Why is this video vertical and full screen? Some sort of new thing? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Why to something algorithm? Yes, it is YouTube. It is the YouTube gods doing what the YouTube gods do. Season 3 will be epic, as much better as season 2 was over season 1, if not more. I agree. I said it in my trailer reaction that you know what I mean? I said it in my trailer reaction, the exact thing. I was like, yo, it's about to get crazy up in this G thing. I was like, this show is basically getting better every time around versus how like the Game of Thrones got worse at the end, right? So like basically this show has the possibility to just keep getting better and better and better and better and better until it's fantastic. If you squint your brain, it's almost like season 3 is next week. If you squint your brain. That is such an interesting description for that. Wheel of Time has never dropped on this at the same time. I'm pretty sure it's been different from season to season, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's true. Daylight savings is a thing though. That's true. At least for me. Because I know they do the weird Greenwich Mean Time or whatever for the release because Prime is weird. So they don't. Well, they're not weird. Sorry for anybody that else is on that time zone because I know some people that are. But like it's just, bro, it makes no sense to me. I'll never understand why they go off of GMT. Everything should. Sorry, y'all. Everything should work off of PST, man. It just makes it easier, yo. Because then it's like if we get a 6 p.m. release, it'd be 9 p.m. for some of y'all. It'd be midnight for some others. Like no show should be released at 3 a.m. for anybody. You know what I mean? That's cold, bro. I think that's crazy. I think a 3 a.m. release for something is diabolical. Like I think a 3 a.m. release for something is diabolical, bro. Like I also get everything dropping at the same time, but bruv, wow. Like I feel so sorry when we do watch parties and it's like Marvel or something, and then people are like up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Like, bro, they got work in like 4 hours, and I'm like, oh, bro, sorry. Well, actually, yeah, bro. Um, Yeah, they're not consistent. Nothing is Prime is not consistent with anything. It's that way for all of their shows. It's not just Wheel of Time. They do that with. It was like that for The Boys. It was like that for the other one, Gen V. Well, not Gen V technically because there's only been one season, but even those release times, it'll be like, oh, super late. I remember one day we didn't even get an episode of The Boys. Like it didn't come out until the entire next day. And it was like, what the hell? And it was weird because it was like episode 5. It was episode 5. So it should have released the same day as all the other ones did. But it was like, nah, this one just released on a Friday instead of Thursday. And then every other episode after that released on the same time. Like, bro, it makes no sense. And don't get me started. HBO Max had their premiere on a Thursday and then changed it to Sunday for the weekly release. Like these streaming platforms have no idea what to do. They are in they're just in an abundance of just blowing their minds. But save the dates, chat, because it's gonna be going up. We're gonna be getting into it, man. I love the Wheel of Time so much. It's been a fantastic series. It's been a fantastic series, both show and book. I've appreciated both in their own rights. Of course, I do like the books a lot more than the show. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like the books a lot more than the show as a overall perspective. But once you zoom in, I think the characters are handled much better in the show. And it may even be possible that once we do get to the end of this book series, that I could even have a better understanding as to why they did these certain things in the show. Because I know a lot of you guys have, pointed out the fact that this show is not the show is not adapting book 1 into season 1. It's adapting the book series Wheel of Time into a show, which is very different. Those things are very different, right? You can get the book by book adaptation or the entire story kind of retold in a way, I guess. So it's definitely a retelling. I think I always make the connection to the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender that was on Netflix, and it's like, yeah. So I am very excited to continue on this journey, not only with the book, but with season 3. That's also just right around the corner, yo. Like, what a time to be, what a time to be a nerd. What a time to love these books, and just what a time to have a time to be a time. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. But with all that being said, chat, let's get into the let's first get into the summarization of The Great Hunt by Daniel Green. Shout out to Mari Sue for dropping this in the chat for us to be able to get a good line, not a lineup, but a good sizing up on what's going to be going on in this. Well, to get a recap, basically. I'm ready to recap. I need a recap to know what was going on. I kind of wanted to do book 1 and book 2, but that would have ended up being like 30 minutes of content right there. So I don't know. We can just do. Well, let me know. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to summarize book 1 and book 2, or just book 2? Let me know in the chat. A 1 for book 1 and 2, and then a 2 just for book 2. 1 in the chat for book 1 and 2, 2 in the chat just for book 2. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Let me know the vibe that we are feeling at this very moment. Yo, I'm low-key starving, but in munchies kind of way. Hmm. I don't know what to do about that. All right, I guess we're just gonna do book 2. Let's get it cracking.
The Great Hunt, Book 2 of the Wheel of Time series, picks up a few months after our last book left off. Rand has been being trained with the sword by Land avidly over the last couple of months, and the story begins with him and Land fighting on top of a tower. During their training, Rand seems to be grabbed by the air around him and held like a man in jello. Well, Lan is swinging at him when this happens, and he lands a blow on Rand's side. Foreshadowing. Lan asks what happens, Rand tells him, and they both kind of go, After the training is done, Lan tells Rand that one day he might need to sheathe the sword himself. The subtext isn't really subtle. After this, we learn that the Amerlin seat. Side note, the Amerlin seat's the head of the White Tower, the leader of the Aes Sedai, and generally regarded as the most powerful political figure in all the land. The Amerlin seat is coming to the city, and Rand kind of decides that he might need to
GTFO. Where's Moiraine's staff, man?
Channel doomed to go insane, and her people are generally hunting and.
Honestly, chat, so genuinely, why is there no staffs in the show? It seemed like everybody and their mama had a staff in the book, and we ain't had one in the show, bro. I don't know. That is such a weird creative decision.
Gentling and killing men who can channel. On his way back to his rooms, Rand runs into Mat and Perrin and Loyal and kind of purposefully initiates a fight between them. Mat and Perrin accuse Rand of being kind of pretentious and trying to make himself into this false noble. Instead of trying to come up with excuses and explain the situation, Rand decides to make it worse so that when he disappears, they won't miss him. Loyal watches this fight happen and gets kind of sad. He's like a puppy watching his owners fight, and he just really wants the peace back. Rand, for various reasons, fails to leave the city before the Amerlin seat shows up, and the guards at the gates won't let him leave at this point. So Rand finds Egwene. She agrees to hide him while the Amerlin seat is in the city. They go to visit Podon Fane in his prison cell. Side note, Podon Fane was captured at the end of the last book and thrown in a prison cell in the basement of this keep. Rand and
That's right. W. Daniel Green for callbacks.
Egwene go down to the prison cells where the guards are kind of dickish, and Egwene.
Wait, it's all coming back to me, chat. It's all coming back to me.
Remarks that they used to be nicer, and she's not really sure why they're behaving this way. Once they're in the cell, Podon Fane tells Rand that he will make him join the Dark One. Now we shift perspective to Moiraine. Moiraine has been summoned to visit the Amerlin seat. While she's on her way, she sees Egwene and Rand together, and Rand's trying to be inconspicuous with her, but failing. Once Moiraine meets with the Amerlin seat, we can clearly tell they're longtime friends, and Moiraine and the Amerlin seat begin discussing current conditions in the world.
The relationship between them is only in the show, right? Like, we don't see the be honestness between them in the books, do we?
World. The fact that the White Tower has fewer Aes Sedai in it than ever. The fact that they do have a few new recruits that are more powerful than any Aes Sedai they've seen in centuries. Elaine Trickhand, Egwene, and Nynaeve. From there, the topic of discussion shifts to the fact that they have a secret mission and plan together. Moraine tells the Amarlin Seat that Randall Thor can channel, and she believes him to be the next Dragon Reborn. It's clear from the way they're talking that these two had this plan together, and the Amarlin Seat approves of training Rand to prepare for the last battle. The Amarlin Seat also produces the Horn.
To answer that other question from earlier of whose POVs I want to see, definitely give me more of the Amarlin Seats, yo.
Side note, the Horn of Valir is a magical horn that summons undead heroes back to life to fight for whoever blows it. And the appearance of the Horn of Valir is also the sign that the Dragon Reborn will soon arrive. The Amarlin is also in possession of one of the seals of the Dark One's prison. Problem is, it's broken. This is a sign that
they were in
the
the
prison
talking
is weakening
stage.
because these seals are supposed to be unbreakable.
Yeah, Swan.
We cut to that night, Grand is sleeping in Egwene's room, and he is told Egwene has gone off to visit Padon Fane in her cell. An attack happens on the keep that night, and Rand immediately goes to see if Egwene is okay. Rand then gets to the dungeon, and
there is blood everywhere.
The other prisoners in their cells have all killed themselves or gone insane. There's also a message.
That was wild. That was wild.
To Rand scrawled on blood in the wall saying, "We'll meet on Tomon Head."
It's never over, all Thor.
Rand begins feverishly scrubbing away this bloody message left to him on the wall, and an Aes Sedai shows up asking him what the hell he's doing. Rand feels strange as she begins channeling at him. This is not allowed what she's doing, and at this point we the readers can infer this is a Black Aja sister. Side note, the Black Aja are a underground secret organization of Aes Sedai that actually serve the Dark One. At this point, Moraine walks in, and the Black sister named Liandrin stops what she's doing. Rand, having no idea what was just done to him, can't really tell Moraine what just happened. Rand then remembers why he's there and runs to Padon Fane's cell, where he finds an unconscious Egwene and Mat. It turns out Padon Fane has successfully stolen the dagger that Mat had and the Horn of Valir.
Dagger.
After the attack, the Amarlin Seat summons Rand.
We miss you, Matt's dagger.
And with Moraine at her side, the Amarlin Seat tells Rand, "You are the next Dragon Reborn." After this, a group is formed to go after the horn and bring it back. The group is made up of about 20 Shinarans, Rand, Mat, Perrin, Loyal, and a sniffer named Huron, along with an Aes Sedai no one has really met before. The sniffer, Huron, can smell violence, and because these are dark friends and Trollocs they're tracing, he's got a pretty good lead on them. So, the party goes off to go get the dagger and the horn back. We don't want those things in the hands of evil people. On the first night there, Rand is going through his things, and he noticed Moraine put the dragon banner, a symbol for the Dragon Reborn, in his belongings. Rand doesn't like this. Mat sees it. Mat accuses Rand of being so pretentious and noble, he actually thinks himself to be the Dragon Reborn. Rand then goes, "Yeah, I can channel." And Mat and Perrin go, "Oh, They kind of apologize to Rand for the way they're behaving, and they clearly can't even fathom how much pressure Rand is under. Mat and Perrin
love that, bruh.
Reaffirming their love for Rand. Later on during the hunt one night, Rand falls asleep with his...
That's one thing that we did not get to see was the freaking bro relationship that they really had together, man. Like, that shit better get established in this season of the show, man. Because they were locked in. Mat and Rand were extremely locked in. So in the show, when we have those moments of them, like, splitting up, it doesn't hit the same as it does in the book, because they were way more locked in the book, because they spent all that time going from tavern to tavern, doing all the stuff that they were taught, bro.
Head on a strange stone turns out to be a portal stone. Rand accidentally transports himself, Loyal, and Huron into another timeline of the same world. In this timeline, the Trollocs won the Trolloc Wars, and all of humanity is dead. And it looks like most of life on the planet is dead. They realize all of this fairly quickly due to Loyal being so well read and intelligent, and continue on their way. In the first night in this world, Rand is visited by a figure in a black mask with flaming eyes. This figure says he is the Dark One and that Rand must join him. Rand refuses, and after the confrontation is over, thinks he might have just had a dream, but due to the fact that there's now a brand in his palm of a heron due to himself holding his sword, he knows it must have been real. Sometime later within this world they are in, a mysterious woman in white appears and begins immediately trying to seduce Rand and tempting him to pursue power. They have been following the same trail this time due to the fact that Huron can still strangely smell the same vile trail, and eventually they find another portal stone for them to go through. They successfully get to the portal stone. Rand channels to get them back to their timeline and succeeds. They then realize that the trail they've been following is gone, and they have actually been following of where the people they've been hunting will be. They then...
Bruh, how are we going to get this stuff covered in the show? Because the only act of time displacency that we've kind of seen is for Nynaeve when she did her trials. And of course we saw that Egwene is going to be doing her trials as well. But man, like, I don't know. I have so many questions. You know, Matt is very nice. He bought me and my husband, fiance then, a drink at the first WotCon to celebrate our engagement. Hey, W's in the chat. That's awesome. There's 13 more books. It's never over, Thor. True. Matt's too much. We saw some good Rand and Matt in season 1, but never enough. Yeah, like never enough at all. Not nearly enough. When they met up in season 2, I got big tears. Yeah, that was awesome. I love the way the actor's been able to just kind of fall into the role and it just be so natural. Yo, what's up with the Carius? Welcome in. How you doing?
Set a trap waiting for the thieving party to arrive. The thieving party arrives, Rand and Loyal sneak into their camp, and successfully steal back the Horn and Dagger. They then flee to the nearest town, which has a giant excavation going on nearby. Rand, walking by this giant excavation, is inexplicably drawn to it and cannot release Sayadine or the magic within his mind. He's then pulled away, they go into the town, and they stay the night there. This strange woman that's been with them this whole time, named Selene, vanishes, and the next day is nowhere to be seen. Rand, fairly sad he's lost his new friend, says they must continue on to the city of Caria. They do, they continue on to the city, and they get an inn there. They decide to wait in the city, thinking it's safe from dark friends, for the remaining Borderlanders and friends to catch up with them. While they are in this city, Rand starts immediately getting letters and invitations from local lords inviting him to their balls. Rand's response to this, for some reason, is to burn all of the letters in public, saying he's not playing their stupid political games. One day while in the city, Rand also runs into an old familiar face, Tom Marilyn. He actually managed to survive an encounter with the Murdral, and has been...
I forgot. Yo, W's in the chat for Tom, bro. I forgot all about our boy.
Doing well, except for the fact that he now has a permanent limp. On the way back from meeting Tom, Rand and Loyal are headed back to their inn when they are attacked by Trollocs. These Trollocs somehow manage to blend into the city in a complex way I'm not going to get into. While trying to escape the Trollocs, Rand and Loyal accidentally burn down the entire Illuminators Guild. Side note, the Illuminators Guild are essentially a guild of people who are the only people who know how to use explosives and make fireworks. They then run back to their inn, trying to desperately make sure Huron's okay and the Horn and Dagger are both safe, but when they get there, Huron has clearly been severely injured, and the inn is burning down. The Dagger and Horn have been taken back by the Dark Friends. Now we have to snap back to the main hunting party on the day that Rand, Huron, and Loyal disappeared. They all freak out, realizing their sniffer, the one person who can actually keep track of the people they're hunting, are gone, and that's when Perrin realizes he needs to step up. Perrin can still talk to wolves, and he realizes he can communicate to the wolves and ask them where the people they're chasing are going. He goes up to Ingtar, the head of the party, and tells him what he can do. Ingtar accepts Perrin's abilities, but says don't tell the rest of the party, just tell them you're also a sniffer. They continue to follow the thieves for a long time. The Aes Sedai that's with them seems to be very curious about Perrin and Matt and continually asking about their paths and Rand. Also on their trip, they run into an Aiel. Side note, Aiel are a warrior-like society that live in a distant land, and we'll get more into them later. We fast forward a little bit, and Perrin realizes Rand has successfully stolen back the Horn and Dagger. He realizes this because the wolves tell him, and the wolves actually have a lot of respect for Rand. They continue following Rand and his party all the way to the city of Carian. They arrive, go to where they think Rand is staying, and they get there right as Rand comes out of the burning inn, realizing that Huron's been injured and the Horn and Dagger are gone. Bad timing. Now we need to snap all the way back to Egwene, Nynaeve, and Moiraine. They're on their way to the White Tower. We learn that Nynaeve has a block that prevents her from using magic unless she is angry. They do begin training immediately though. Even on the way back, they are personally taught by the Armorland Seat. It does not go well. We also learn that Egwene might be a dreamer, someone who can predict the future through dreaming and also walk in the world of dreams. During their by the Armorland Seat, it does not go well. We also learn that Egwene might be a dreamer, someone who can predict the future through dreaming and also walk in the world of dreams. During their first few days, Egwene and Nynaeve also meet the daughter of Andor, Elaine.
Bro, the level of world building and lore we missed out on for these characters in the show is insane, but it's also wild how, despite that, we can still care about them just as much.
And become fast friends, and they also meet a woman named Min. Min being the same woman who foretold Rand's future back in Book 1. Also, very quickly, Nynaeve is made the rank of Accepted, which is the second level in becoming an Aes Sedai. Liandrin, the Black Aja sister from before, instructs Egwene and Nynaeve to come with her to Tomon Head because their friends are in danger there. Min and Elaine also join them for the trip. They travel through the ways, and once they're there, of course, Liandrin betrays them. She gives them over to the Shan-Chan. Side note, the Shan-Chan are an invading force from a foreign land
another crazy
country and a city called Falma, and this is where Tomon Head is. The Shan-Chan hate people who can channel, collar them with magical collars that prevent them from channeling unless the person holding the leash allows them to. They serve an empress and claim that they have a natural birthright to retake this land since they are the descendants of the
like
last
a true dark
empire that
friend.
held this land. Min, Elaine, and Nynaeve manage to escape during this handover, but Egwene is taken prisoner and becomes or a colored one. Snap back to Rand and his group. They learned the horn was taken to one of the actual lord's palaces, a lord that Rand has an invitation to go see. So
that's right, because he'd been playing the game of houses.
Tom is performing there. Yay! They quickly realize the horn is no longer there and has left through a waygate. Rand talks to Tom for a bit at this party, and a dark friend tells Rand that he must go to Tomon Head to meet Padan Fain there if he wants to get the horn back. The party leaves the party. Sad side note, we learn after the party that because Tom was seen speaking with Rand, and Rand is such a controversial figure in this city, his current girlfriend has been murdered, and Tom's built-up life here has essentially been destroyed. Our group decides to take the Stone directly to Tomon Head, so they don't have to do all the traveling and can get there instantly. The Aes Sedai comes up to Rand and tells him she knows he can channel and that he's the only one powerful enough to use the stone. Rand attempts to use it, but unfortunately makes a mistake. Flicker, 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 flicker. What happens is they all live their lives through alternative timelines, taking...
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. That's about right, bro. That's about right, yeah.
Months and months away from them, and when they finally are teleported to Tomon Head, an entire season has gone by. Everyone is severely shaken up, having lived dozens of lives, and seeing what horrible or great things they could have done. During this time, Padan Fain arrived at Tomon Head, got really close with the Shan-Chan, and gave them the Horn of Valir. At the same time, Egwene has been being a
Oh, that did happen.
Things they could have done. During this time, Padan Fain arrived at Tomon Head, got really close with the
That boy Padan Fain was everywhere. It's kind of interesting, in my opinion, when you look at the show versus the book, I kind of feel like they made Padan Fain... No. They made Ishmael a little more like Padan Fain in the show. Right? Like in the show, it feels like you see Ishi everywhere, but in the in the book, wait, am I high? Hold on, I had it and then I lost it. No, yeah, in the show you see Ishi everywhere, but you also do see Padan Fain everywhere, but it's different. You know what I mean? Like in the book, it's Padan Fain everywhere. Like he's everywhere you go, you see Padan Fain, and you're like, bro, what the hell? But in the show, you know, I guess it's different because we do get a lot more POVs a lot earlier on.
Same time, Egwene has been being a demonic and being used as a slave, continually beaten and submission.
Oh, I feel that.
There, Rand, Matt, Perrin, Ingtar, and a few Borderlander
Yeah,
soldiers
Chopin Fane
sneak
wasn't
into
gross
the city
enough.
to try to find where the Horn
But he
Dagger
kind of
are.
was. He was kind of creepy.
Valir. At the same time,
It was weird
Egwene
seeing him in
has been
Halo.
being a demonic and being used as a slave, continually beaten into submission. Now that they are finally there, Rand, Matt, Perrin, Ingtar, and a few Borderlander soldiers sneak into the city to try to find where
the horses
Dagger
was
are.
done, bro. The horses were done. Yo, the horses were like, bruh, ain't no way we about to keep doing this, man. I am not the Dragon Reborn. He
The
is.
entire season has gone by. Everyone is severely shaking up, having lived dozens of lives, and seeing what horrible or
Okay, hold on. Let's go back.
Use the stone. Rand tells him she knows he used it, but unfortunately makes a mistake. Flicker, 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 flicker. What happens is they all live their lives through alternative timelines, taking months and months away from them. And when they finally are teleported to Tomon Head, an entire season has gone by. Everyone is severely shaking up, having lived dozens of lives, and seeing what horrible or great things they could have done. During this time, Padan Fane...
An entire season, bro. Like, an entire season. That's crazy.
Tomon Head, got really close with the Shan-Chan, and gave them the Horn of Valir. At the same time, Egwene has been being a demonic and being used as a slave, continually beaten into submission. Now that they are finally there, Rand, Matt, Perrin, Ingtar, and a few Borderlander soldiers sneak into the city to try to find where the Horn and Dagger are. Matt is drawn to the dagger, so they use him like a magnet to find where it is, and they sneak into the palace. And of course, it's an ambush. At the same time, Egwene is being rescued by Nynaeve, Min, and Elaine. Rand's group manages to fight off the ambush. Rand is confronted by a Blade Master of the Shan-Chan. Rand managed to actually defeat a Blade Master by seeking the Void, a basically...
That shit was bro, I love the dynamic differences between Mistborn and Wheel of Time, to where in Mistborn you get the play-by-play of the actions that they're doing, and in Wheel of Time you get these brief, like the way that Rand whoops the Sword Master's ass, and it's just like curling dagger, flailing swan. Like, you know what? Like, that's, yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Using magic, half not form of meditation. And during this fight, Matt cuts somebody with his dagger, which he now has back, and the person he cuts turns into a diseased black husk of disgusting. So the party does successfully get out with the dagger after having some pretty gross things happen. And at that moment, a White Cloak army decides to attack the city. They are literally stuck between the Shan-Chan and the White Cloak religious fanatics. So to survive, Matt decides to blow the Horn of Valir and summon an army of undead heroes back to life.
This shit was so fire.
Ensues, at which point Rand is transported into the sky and he fights the man in the mask with the fiery eyes. Rand manages to stab and severely hurt him, but at the same time Rand is stabbed in the stomach with a black staff and has this horrendous festering wound on his side. Rand falls from the sky, and that's the last we see of him. The White Cloaks do manage to push the Shan-Chan.
Come on, son! And then didn't that shit like get projected in the sky as well, and everybody was like watching? Bruh, come on. That shit is so hard, bro. That shit is so hard. Bruh, I love that. Just in the sky, and they're just going off, just... Bruh, yes.
With a black staff and has this horrendous festering wound on his side. Rand falls from the sky, and that's the last we see of him. The White Cloak...
And doesn't, like, Perrin, like, grab the flag and, like, he starts riding with it, bro. Bro, come on. We were... That shit was hype.
Folks do manage to push the Shan-Chan out, and the army of heroes dissipates after the battle is over. Egwene is successfully rescued, and now we pick up from the perspective of Min, who is drawn to the injured Rand, having previously seen him fight in the sky. Min finds Rand unconscious and begins nursing him back to health and talking to his unconscious body. Min tells Rand how much she actually loves him. She is foretold that she will fall in love with him, and so will 2 other women. She has had many visions around Rand and has essentially known he's the Dragon Reborn since she first met him. Egwene shows up, clearly jealous that Min has been maintaining Rand in such a way, and goes to fetch Nynaeve, who can maybe heal Rand. Rand wakes up a few days later, hearing that Egwene and Nynaeve and Elaine have been sent back to the White Tower to continue their training. Min is still by his side, and Mat has also been taken to the White Tower to try and hopefully successfully separate him from the dagger. Moraine also arrives at this point and tells Rand everyone saw him fight in the sky. Everyone knows Rand is the Dragon Reborn, and the word is spreading. So that is book 2 of the Wheel of Time series. I do really enjoy
that where we ended?
This much. I hope you enjoyed my summary. Please like and subscribe if you have not.
Is that really where we ended? That's crazy. We literally ended on a cliffhanger, chat. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. Let's go. Yo, let's go. It's about to get spicy, man. It's about to get spicy. I'm not going to lie to you. Because holy, I had no idea that's where we left off at. I'm not even going to lie. I'm so excited right now. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Let me know how you guys are feeling. I'm about to jump back in the chat right now. But let me just get a couple things in order on my side here. What am I looking for? Oh, what am I looking for? I can't remember. Oh no, my brain. My brain is farting. Uh Um, oh shit. Damn, I can't. Hold on, let me see. Damn. Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping, chat. Maybe I'm tripping, chat. Never mind. I don't think I'm tripping, but I must be tripping. Whoa. Ha! I wasn't tripping. Boom, shakalaka. All right. There we go. There we go. All right, chat. Let's see. Um Allegedly Black Aja. Yeah, of course you'd say that. Of course you would say that, Marisu. Oh. Okay. Well, it'd be like that. Yasuan had to pull rank on Nynaeve. It was Flickerverse before the multiverse. Even the horses experienced thousands of lives. Imagine their poor horse minds. Oh, damn. I guess I never thought of it like that. That's a good point. I guess they did. Oh, shit. Yo, after Flicker Flicker, the horses untie their bridles and saddles and say F the noise and run away. Curving Dagger, Flailing Swan is an older sword form used by Padden Fane. Oh, snap. Hey, who's that pretty woman in white? Bruh, for real. Lanfear shows up and tells Min, yeah, you can hang out with my man for a minute, but I'll be back for him. Yeah, which is crazy. But don't bang him. Take care of him for me is diabolical. Lanfear's a hot mess, but at least she hot. Nah. And this is when chat says, I can change her. Season 3 of the show is going to cover book 3 and 4 more heavily from book 4, The Shadow Rising. Is it prologue starts? The prologue starts with a flashback to Ishii and his favorite boots. So we're almost ready to start. Then we are ready to start. Chat, it is time. That's right. It is time to get into the prologue of the Dragon Reborn. I was about to give this book a completely new name. That's insane. I was about to give this book a completely new name. Let's see. So we have the epigraph first and then the prologue. The epigraph first and then the prologue. So I'm ready. I hope you guys are ready too, because without further ado, it's time to dive in to the Wheel of Time, the Dragon Reborn. And of course, we are starting with a full run through of the prologue, as always. Oh, bro, I'm so happy. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. I'm so happy. Let's get into it, man. Again, starting with the epigraph. And y'all already know. Y'all already know.
And his paths shall be many. And who shall know his name? For he shall be born among us many times, in many guises, as he has been and ever will be, time without end. His coming shall be like the sharp edge of the plough, turning our lives in furrows from out of the places where we lie in our silence. The breaker of bonds, the forger of chains, the maker of futures, the unshaper of destiny. From Commentaries on the Prophecies of the Dragon, by Jurith Doreen, right hand to the Queen of Almoran, 742 AB, the Third Age. Prologue. Fortress of the Light. Pedron Niles' aged gaze wandered about his private audience chamber, but dark eyes, hazed with thought, saw nothing. Tattered wall hangings, once battle banners of the enemies of his youth, faded into dark wood panelling laid over stone walls, thick even here in the heart of the Fortress of the Light. The single chair in the room, heavy, high-backed and almost a throne, was as invisible to him as the few scattered tables that completed the furnishings. Even the white-cloaked man kneeling with barely restrained eagerness on the great sunburst set in the wide planks of the floor had vanished from Niall's mind for the moment, though few would have dismissed him so lightly. Jarrett Byer had been given time to wash before being brought to Niall, but both his helmet and his breastplate were dulled from travel and battered from use. Dark, deep-set eyes shone with a feverish, urgent light in a face that seemed to have had every spare scrap of flesh boiled away.
Oh, God.
He wore no sword, none was allowed in Niall's presence, but he seemed poised on the edge of violence, like a hound awaiting the loosing of the leash. Twin fires on long hearths at either end of the room held off the late winter cold. It was a plain soldier's room, really. Everything well made, but nothing extravagant, except for the sunburst. Furnishings came to the audience chamber of the Lord Captain Commander of the Children of the Light with the man who rose to the office. The flaring sun of coin gold had been worn smooth by generations of petitioners, replaced and worn smooth again. Gold enough to buy any estate in Amadicia, and the patent of nobility to go with it. For 10 years Niall had walked across that gold and never thought of it twice, any more than he thought of the sunburst embroidered across the chest of his white tunic. Gold held little interest for Pedron Niall. Eventually his eyes went back to the table next to him, covered with maps and scattered letters and reports. 3 loosely rolled drawings lay among the jumble. He took one up, reluctantly. It did not matter which. All depicted the same scene, though by different hands. Niall's skin was as thin as scraped parchment, drawn tight by age over a body that seemed all bone and sinew. But there was nothing of frailty about him. No man held Niall's office before his hair was white, nor did any man softer than the stones of the Dome of Truth. Still, he was suddenly aware of the tendon-ridged back of the hand holding the drawing, aware of the need for haste. Time was growing short. His time was growing short. It had to be enough. He had to make it enough. He made himself unroll the thick parchment halfway, just enough to see the face that interested him. The chalks were a little smudged from travel in saddlebags, but the face was clear. A grey-eyed youth with reddish hair. He looked tall, but it was hard to say for certain. Aside from the hair and the eyes, he could have been set down in any town without exciting comment. This boy has proclaimed himself the Dragon Reborn, Niall muttered.
Shit.
The dragon. The name made him feel the chills of winter and age. The name borne by Luz Therin Telamon when he doomed every man who could channel the One Power, then or ever after, to insanity and death, himself among them. It was more than 3,000 years since Aes Sedai Pride and the War of the Shadow had brought an end to the Age of Legends. 3,000 years, but prophecy and legend helped men remember. The heart of it, at least, if the details were gone. Luz Therin Kinslayer, the man who had begun the the breaking of the world, when madmen who could tap the power that drove the universe levelled mountains and sank ancient lands beneath the seas, when the whole face of the earth had been changed, and all who survived fled like beasts before a wildfire. It had not ended until the last male Aes Sedai lay dead, and a scattered human race could begin trying to rebuild from the rubble, where even rubble remained. It was burned into memory by the stories mothers told children, and prophecy said the dragon would be born again. Niall had not really meant it for a question, but Bayer took it for one. "Yes, my lord Captain Commander, he has. It is a worse madness than any false dragon I've ever heard of. Thousands have declared for him already. Tarabon and Aradoman are in civil war, as well as at war with each other. There is fighting all across Alma's Plain and Toman Head, Tarabona against Damani, against Dark Friends, crying for the dragon. There was fighting until winter chilled most of it. I've never seen it spread so quickly, my lord Captain Commander, like throwing a lantern into a hay barn. The snow may have damped it down, but come spring the flames will burst out hotter than before." Niall cut him off with a raised finger. Twice already Niall had let him tell his story through, his voice burning with anger and hate. Parts of it Niall knew from other sources, and in some areas he knew more than Bayer, but each time he heard it, it goaded him anew. "Jeff from Bornhold and 1,000 of the children dead. And Aes Sedai did it. You have no doubts, child Bayer?" "None, my lord Captain Commander. After a skirmish on the way to farm, I saw 2 of the Tar Valon witches. They cost us more than 50 dead before we stuck 'em full of arrows." "You are sure? Sure they were Aes Sedai?" "The ground erupted under our feet." Bayer's voice was firm and full of belief. He had little imagination, did Jarrett Bayer. Death was part of a soldier's life, however
Who the hell
it
else
came.
could do that?
"Lightning struck our ranks out of a clear sky. My lord Captain Commander, what else could they have been?"
Niall nodded grimly. There had been no male Aes Sedai since the breaking of the world, but the women who still claimed that title were bad enough. They prated of their 3 oaths, to speak no word that was not true, to make no weapon for one man to kill another, to use the one power as a weapon only against dark friends or shadow spawn. But now they had showed those oaths for the lies they were. He had always known no one could want the power they wielded except to challenge the Creator, and that meant to serve the Dark One. "And
Damn.
you know nothing of those who took Falm and killed half of one of my legions?"
"Lord Captain Bornhold said they called themselves Shaunchan, my lord Captain Commander,"
Bayer said stolidly.
"He said they were Dark Friends, and his charge broke them, even if they killed him."
His voice gained intensity.
"There were many refugees from the city. Everyone I spoke to agreed the strangers had broken and fled. Lord Captain Bornhold did that."
Niall sighed softly. They were almost the same words Bayer had used the first 2 times about the army that had seemingly come out of nowhere to take Falm. A good soldier, Niall thought. So Jeffrem Bornhold always said, but not a man to think for himself.
"My lord Captain Commander,"
Bayer said suddenly,
"Lord Captain Bornhold did command me to stand aside from the battle. I was to watch and report to you, and tell his son, Lord Dane, how he died."
Okay, 1 second. I gotta grab my Apple Pencil real quick. Daddy's home.
Yes, yes, Niall said impatiently. For a moment he studied Bayer's hollow-cheeked face, then added, "No one doubts your honesty or courage. It is exactly the sort of thing Jeffrem Bornhold would do, facing a battle in which he feared his entire command might die. And not the sort of thing you have imagination enough to think up." There was nothing
What the hell is
more
that
to
supposed to
learn
mean?
from the man. You have done well, child buyer. You have my leave to carry word of Geoffrey Bornhold's death to his son. Dane Bornhold is with Eamon Valda, near Tarvalon at last report. You may join them. Thank you, my Lord Captain Commander. Thank you. Buyer rose to his feet and bowed deeply. Yet as he straightened, he hesitated. My Lord Captain Commander. We were betrayed. Hatred gave his voice a saw-toothed edge. By this one dark friend you spoke of, child buyer? He could not keep an edge out of his own voice. A year's planning lay in ruins amid the corpses of 1,000 of the children, and Buyer wanted to talk only of this one man. This young blacksmith you've only seen twice, this Perrin from the Two Rivers. Yes, my Lord Captain Commander. I do not know how, but I know he is to blame. I know it. I will see what can be done about him, child Buyer. Buyer opened his mouth again, but Niall raised a thin hand to forestall him. You may leave me now. The gaunt-faced man had no choice but to bow again and leave. As the door closed behind him, Niall lowered himself into his high-backed chair. What had brought on Buyer's hatred of this Perrin? There were far too many dark friends to waste energy on hating any particular one. Too many dark friends, high and low, hiding behind glib tongues and open smiles, serving the Dark One. Still, one more name added to the lists would do no harm. He shifted on the hard chair, trying to find comfort for his old bones. Not for the first time he thought vaguely that perhaps a cushion would not be too much luxury, and not for the first time he pushed the thought away. The world tumbled toward chaos, and he had no time to give in to age. He let all the signs that foretold disaster swirl through his mind. War gripped Tarabon and Aradoman, civil war ripped at Cairien, and war fever was rising in Tyr and Ilian, old enemies as they were. Perhaps these wars meant nothing in themselves. Men fought wars, but they usually came one at a time. And aside from the false dragon somewhere on Olmouth Plain, another Tor at Saldea, and a third plagued Tyr. 3 at once. They must all be false dragons. They must be. A dozen small things besides, some perhaps only baseless rumours, but taken together with the rest. Sightings of Aiel reported as far west as Murundi and Kandor, only 2 or 3 in one place. But 1 or 1,000, Aiel had come out of the waste just once in all the years since the breaking. Only in the Aiel War had they ever left that desolate wilderness. The Atha'an Mier, the sea folk, were said to be ignoring trade to seek signs and portents of what exactly they did not say, sailing with ships half full or even empty. Ilian had called the Great Hunt of the Horn for the first time in almost 400 years, had sent out the hunters to seek the fabled Horn of Valir, which prophecy said would summon dead heroes from the grave to fight in Tarman Gaidon, the last battle against the Shadow. Rumour said the Ogier, always so reclusive that most common people thought them only legend, had called meetings between their far-flung steading. Most telling of all, to Niall, the Aes Sedai had apparently come into the open. It was said they had sent some of their sisters to Saldea to confront the false dragon Mazrim Taim. Rare as it was in men, Taim could channel the One Power. That was a thing to fear and despise in itself, and few thought a man like that could be defeated except with the aid of Aes Sedai. Better to allow Aes Sedai help than to face the inevitable horrors when he went mad, as such men inevitably did. But Tarvalon had apparently sent other Aes Sedai to support the other false dragon at Farm. Nothing else fit the facts. The pattern chilled the marrow in his bones. Chaos multiplied. What was unheard of happening again and again. The whole world seemed to be milling, stirring near the boil. It was clear to him. The last battle really was coming. All his plans were destroyed, the plans that would have secured his name among the children of the light for 100 generations.
Damn.
But turmoil meant opportunity, and he had new plans, with new objectives. If he could keep the strength and will to carry them out, light let me hold on to life long enough. A deferential tap on the door brought him out of his dark thoughts. "Come!" he snapped. A servant in coat and breeches of white and gold bowed his way in. Eyes to the floor, he announced that Jaichim Karadin, anointed of the light, inquisitor of the hand of the light, came at the command of the Lord Captain Commander. Karadin appeared on the man's heels, not waiting for Niall to speak. Niall gestured the servant to leave. Before the door was fully closed again, Karadin dropped to one knee with a flourish of his snowy cloak. Behind the sunburst on the cloak's breast lay the scarlet shepherd's crook of the hand of the light, called the Questioners by many, though seldom to their faces. "As you have commanded my presence, my lord, Captain Commander," he said in a strong voice, "so have I returned from Tarabon." Niall examined him for a moment. Karadin was tall, well into his middle years, with a touch of grey in his hair, yet fit and hard. His dark, deep-set eyes had a knowing
Turmoil
look
means
about them, as
opportunity.
always.
Chaos is a
And
ladder.
he did not blink under the silent study of the Lord Captain Commander. Few men had consciences so clear or nerves so steady. Karadin knelt there, waiting as calmly as if it were an everyday matter to be ordered curtly to leave his command and return to Amador without delay, no reasons given. But then it was said Jaichim Karadin could outweight a stone. "Rise, child Karadin." As the other man straightened, Niall added, "I have had disturbing news from farm." Karadin straightened the folds of his cloak as he answered. His voice rode the edge of suitable respect, almost as if he spoke to an equal rather than to the man he had sworn to obey to the death. "My Lord Captain Commander refers to the news brought by child Jarrett Byer, late second to Lord Captain Bornhold." The corner of Niall's left eye fluttered, an old presage of anger. Supposedly only 3 men knew Byer was in Amador, and none besides Niall knew from where he came. "Do not be too clever, Karadin. Your desire to know everything may one day lead you into the hands of your own questioners." Karadin showed no reaction beyond a slight tightening of his mouth at the name. "My Lord Captain Commander, the hand seeks out truth everywhere, to serve the light." To serve the light, not to serve the children of the light. All the children served the light, but Pedron Niall often wondered if the questioners really considered themselves part of the children at all. "And what truth do you have for me about what occurred in farm?" "Dark friends, my Lord Captain Commander." "Dark friends?"
Y'all know who you are.
Niall's chuckle held no amusement. "A few weeks gone, I was receiving reports from you that Jeff from Bornhold was a servant of the Dark One because he moved soldiers onto Tomenhead against your orders." His voice became dangerously soft. "Do you now mean me to believe that Bornhold, as a Dark Friend, led 1,000 of the children to their deaths, fighting other Dark Friends?" "Whether or not he was a Dark Friend will never be known," Karadin said blandly, "since he died before he could be put to the question. The Shadow's plots are murky, and often seem mad to those who walk in the light. But that those who seized farm were Dark Friends, I have no doubt. Dark Friends and Aes Sedai in support of a false dragon. It was the one power that destroyed Bornhold and his men, of that I am sure, my Lord Captain Commander, just as it destroyed the armies that Tarabon and Aradoman sent against the Dark Friends in farm. And what of the stories that those who took farm came from across the Arith Ocean?" Karadin shook his head. "My Lord Captain Commander, the people are full of rumours. Some claim they were the armies Arthur Hawkwing sent across the ocean 1,000 years ago, come back to claim the land. Why, some even claim to have seen Hawkwing himself in farm, and half the heroes of legend besides. The West is boiling, from Tarabon to Saldea, and 100 new rumours bubble to the surface every day, each
That's
more
crazy.
outrageous than
They're
the
like,
last.
yo, these people are absolutely
These so-called
insane.
Sean Chan were no more than another rabble of dark friends gathered to support a false dragon, only this time with open Aes Sedai support. What proof have you? Niall made his voice sound as if he doubted the point. You have prisoners? No, my Lord Captain Commander. As Child Buyer no doubt told you, Bornhold managed to hurt them badly enough that they dispersed. And certainly no one we've questioned would admit to supporting a false dragon. As for proof, it lies in two parts, if my Lord Captain Commander will permit me. Niall gestured impatiently. The first part is negative. Few ships have tried to cross the Arith Ocean, and most never returned. Those that did turned back before they ran out of food and water. Even the sea folk will not cross the Arith, and they sail wherever there is trade, even to the lands beyond the Aiel Waste. My Lord Captain Commander, if there are any lands across the ocean, they are too far to reach, the ocean too wide. To carry an army across it would be as impossible as flying. Perhaps, Niall said slowly, it is certainly indicative. What is your second part? My Lord Captain Commander, many of those we questioned spoke of monsters fighting for the Dark Friends, and held to their claims even under the last degree of the question. What could they be but Trollocs and other shadow spawn in some way brought down from the Blight? Caradin spread his hands as if that were conclusive. Most people think Trollocs are only travellers' tales and lies, and most of the rest think they were all killed in the Trolloc Wars. What other name would they put to a Trolloc but monster? Yes.
Damn, bro's actually cooking.
You may be right, Child Caradin. Maybe, I say. He would not give Caradin the satisfaction of knowing he agreed. Let him work a while. But what of him? He indicated the rolled drawings. If he knew Caradin, the Inquisitor had copies in his own chambers. How dangerous is he? Can he channel the One Power? The Inquisitor merely shrugged. Perhaps he can channel, perhaps not. Aes Sedai could no doubt make people believe a cat could channel, if they wanted to. As to how dangerous he is, any false dragon is dangerous until he is put down, and one with Tarvalon openly behind him is 10 times dangerous. But he is less dangerous now than he will be in half a year, unchecked. The captives I questioned had never seen him, had no idea where he is
100%. He said
His
he's torturing
forces
people.
are fragmented. I doubt there are more than 200 gathered in any one place. The Taraboners or the Domani, either one, could sweep them away if they weren't so busy fighting each other. Even a false dragon, Niall said dryly, is not enough to make them forget 400 years of squabbling over possession of Almouth Plain. As if either of them ever had the strength to hold it. Caradin's face did not change, and Niall wondered how he could keep so calm. You will not be calm much longer, questioner. It is of no import, my Lord Captain Commander. Winter keeps them all in their camps, except for scattered skirmishes and raids. When the weather warms enough for troops to move, Bornhold took only half his legion to their deaths on Tomenhead. With the other half, I will hunt this false dragon to his death. A corpse is not dangerous to anyone. And if you face what it seems
ain't never seen a
Bornhold
zombie.
faced, Aes Sedai channeling the power to kill, their witchery doesn't protect them from arrows or a knife in the dark. They die as quickly as anyone else. Caradin smiled. I promise you, I will be successful before summer. Niall nodded. The man was confident now. Sure, the dangerous questions would already have come if they were coming. You should have remembered, Caradin, I was accounted a fine tactician. Why? He said quietly. Did you not take your own forces to Falm? With dark friends on Toman Head, an army of them holding Farm, why did you try to stop Bornhold? Caradin blinked, but his voice remained steady. At first, they were only rumours, my Lord Captain Commander. Rumours so wild no one could believe. By the time I learned the truth, Bornhold had joined battle. He was dead, and the dark friends scattered. Besides, my task was to bring the light to Almouth Plain. I could not disobey my orders to chase after rumours. Your task? Niall said, his voice rising as he stood. Caradin topped him by a head, but the Inquisitor stepped back. Your task? Your task was to seize Almouth Plain? An empty bucket that no one holds except by words and claims, and all you had to do was fill it? The nation of Almouth would have lived again, ruled by the children of the light, with no need to pay lip service to a fool of a king. Amadicia and Almouth, a vice-gripping Tarabon. In 5 years we would have held sway there as much as here in Amadicia, and you made a dog's dinner of it. The smile went at last. My Lord Captain Commander, Caradin protested, how could I foresee what happened? Yet another false dragon, Tarabon and Aradoman finally going to war after so long merely growling at each other, and Aes Sedai revealing their true selves after 3,000 years of dissembling. Even with that, though, all is not lost. I can find and destroy this false dragon before his followers unite. And once the Taraboners and Domani have weakened themselves, they can be cleared from the plain without— No!
Oh.
Niall snapped. Your plans are done with, Caradin. Perhaps I should hand you over to your own questioners right now. The High Inquisitor would not object. He is gnashing his teeth to find someone to blame for what happened. He would never put forward one of his own, but I doubt he'd quibble if I named you. A few days under the question, and you would confess to anything. Name yourself Dock Friend, even. You would go under the headsman's axe inside a week. There was sweat beading on Caradin's forehead. My Lord Captain Commander. He stopped to swallow. My Lord Captain Commander seems to be saying there is another way. If he will but speak it, I am sworn to obey. Now, Niall thought, now to toss the dice. Prickles ran across his skin,
roll,
as if he were in battle and had suddenly realized that every man for 100 paces around him was an enemy. Lord Captain Commanders did not go to the headsman, but more than one had been known to die suddenly and unexpectedly, swiftly mourned and swiftly replaced by men with less dangerous ideas. Child Caradin, he said firmly, you will make certain that this false dragon does not die. And if any Aes Sedai come to oppose rather than support him, you will make use of your knives in the dark.
Damn.
The Inquisitor's jaw dropped, yet he recovered quickly, eyeing Niall in a speculative fashion. To kill Aes Sedai is a duty, but to allow a false dragon to roam free, that would be treason and blasphemy. Niall drew a deep breath. He could sense the unseen knives waiting in the shadows, but he was committed now. It is no treason to do what must be done, and even blasphemy can be tolerated for a cause. Those 2 sentences alone were enough to kill him. Do you know how to unite people behind you, child Caradin? The quickest way? No. Loose a lion, a rabid lion in the streets, and when panic grips the people, once it has turned their bowels to water, calmly tell them you will deal with it. Then you kill it and order them to hang the carcass up where everyone can see. Before they have time to think, you give another order and it will be obeyed. And if you continue to give orders, they will continue to obey, for you will be the one who saved them. And who better to lead? Karadin moved his head uncertainly. Do you mean to take it all, my Lord Captain Commander? Not just Olmouth Plain, but Tarabon and Aradoman as well?
Bro,
What I
they're
mean is for me
cooking.
to know.
Like they're cooking, yo.
It is for you to obey, as you are sworn to do. I expect to hear of messengers on fast horses leaving for the plain by tonight. I am certain you know how to word the orders so no one suspects what they should not. If you must harry someone, let it be the Taraboners and Domani. It would not do to have them kill my lion. No. Under the light, we shall
Bruh.
force peace between them. As my Lord Captain Commander commands. Karadin said smoothly, I hear and obey. Too smoothly. Niall smiled a cold smile. In case your oath is not strong enough, know this. If this false dragon dies before I command his death, or if he is taken by the Tarvalon witches, you will be found one morning with a dagger in your heart. And should any accident befall me, even if I should die of old age, you will not survive me the month. My Lord Captain Commander, I have sworn to obey, so you have. Niall cut him off. See that you remember it. Now, go. As my Lord Captain Commander
See
commands.
that you remember it? Brutal.
This time Karadin's voice was not so steady. The door closed behind the Inquisitor. Niall rubbed his hands together. He felt cold. The dice were spinning, with no way of telling what pips would show when they stopped. The last battle truly was coming. Not the Tarman Guidon of legend, with the Dark One breaking free to be faced by the Dragon Reborn. Not that, he was sure. The Aes Sedai of the Age of Legends might have made a hole in the Dark One's prison at Shael Ghul, but Luz Therin Kinslayer and his 100 companions had sealed it up again. The counterstroke had tainted the male half of the true source forever, and driven them mad.
Counterstroke.
And so begun the breaking.
Have we ever heard about the counterstroke
But one of
before?
those ancient Aes Sedai could do what 10 of the Tarvalon witches of today could not. The seals they had made would hold. Pedron Niall was a man of cold logic, and he had reasoned out how Tarman Gaiden would be. Bestial Trolloc hordes rolling south out of the Great Blight as they had in the Trolloc Wars 2,000 years before, with the Murdral, the Half-Men, leading, and perhaps even new human dreadlords from among the Dark Friends. Humankind, split into nations squabbling among themselves, could not stand against that. But he, Pedron Niall, would unite humankind behind the banners of the Children of the Light. There would be new legends to tell how Pedron Niall had fought Tarman Gaiden and won. First, he murmured, loose a rabid lion in the streets. A rabid lion? Niall spun on his heel as a bony little man with a huge beak of a nose slipped from behind one of the hanging banners. There was just a glimpse of a panel swinging shut as the banner fell back against the wall. I showed you that passage, Ordaith, Niall snapped, so you could come when I summoned you, without half the fortress knowing, not so you could listen to my private conversation. Ordaith made a smooth bow as he crossed the room. Listen, great lord, I would never do such a thing. I only just arrived and could not avoid hearing your final words.
He's a
No
dirty,
more
rotten
than
liar.
that. He wore a half-mocking smile, but it never left his face that Niall had ever seen, even when the fellow had no reason to know anyone was watching. A month before, in the dead of winter, the gangly little man had arrived in Amadicia, ragged and half-frozen, and somehow managed to talk his way through all the layers of guards to Pedron Niall himself. He seemed to know things about events on Toman Head that were not in Caradin's voluminous of obscure reports, or in Byer's tale, or in any other report or rumour that had come to Niall. His name was a lie, of course. In the old tongue, Ordaith meant wormwood. When Niall challenged him on it, though, all he said was, "Who we were is lost to all men, and life is bitter." But he was clever. It had been
Who
he
we
who helped
were
Niall
is
see
lost
the
to all
pattern emerging
men.
in events.
That's
Ordaith moved
crazy.
to the table and took up one of the drawings. As he unrolled it enough to reveal the young man's face, his smile deepened to nearly a grimace. Niall was still irritated that the man had come unsummoned. "You find a false dragon funny, Ordaith? Or does he frighten you?" "A false dragon?" Ordaith said softly. "Yes,
Ooh.
yes, of course, it must be. Who else could it be?" And he
A
barked a shrill laugh
false
that grated on Niall's
dragon.
nerves. Sometimes Niall thought Ordaith was at least half mad. But he is clever, mad or not. "What do you mean, Ordaith? You sound as if you know him." Ordaith gave a start, as though he had forgotten the Lord Captain Commander was there. "Know him? Oh, yes, I know him. His name is Randalthor. He comes
the
from the Two
hell?
Rivers in the back country of Andor, and he is a dark friend so deep in the shadow it would make your soul cringe to know the half." "The Two Rivers," Niall mused. "Someone else mentioned another dark friend from there, another youth. Strange to think of dark friends coming from a place like that. But truly, they are everywhere." "Another great lord," Ordaith said, "from the Two Rivers. Would that be Matrim Cawthon or Perrine Barra? They are of an age with him, and close behind in evil." "His name was given as Perrin," Niall said, frowning. "3 of them, you say? Nothing comes out of the Two Rivers but wool and tobacco. I doubt if there is another place men live that is more isolated from the rest of the world. In a city, dark friends must hide their nature to one extent or another. They must associate with others, with strangers come from other places and leaving to take word of what they have seen. But in quiet villages, cut off from the world, where few outsiders ever go, what better places for all to be dark friends?" "How is it you know the names of 3 dark friends, Ordaith? 3 dark friends from the far end of forever. You keep too many secrets, Wormwood, and pull more surprises from your sleeve than a gleeman. How can any man tell all that he knows, great lord?" The little man said smoothly. "It would be only prattle
Well, doesn't
until
he
it
realize he's about to
becomes
get
useful. I
Bob
will
Squad.
tell you this, great lord. This Randalthor, this dragon, has deep roots in the Two Rivers." "False dragon," Niall said sharply, and the other man bowed. "Of course, great lord, I misspoke myself." Suddenly Niall became
Well, I
aware of
said
the
this
drawing,
dragon.
crumpled and torn in Ordaith's hands. Even while the man's face remained smooth, except for that sardonic smile, his hands twitched convulsively around the parchment. "Stop that!" Niall commanded. He snatched the drawing away from Ordaith and smoothed it as best he could. "I do not have so many likenesses of this man that I can allow them to be destroyed." Much of the drawing was only a smudge, and a rip ran across the young man's breast, but miraculously the face was untouched. "Forgive me, great lord." Ordaith made a deep bow, his smile never slipping. "I hate dark friends. Niall studied the face in chalks. Randall Thor of the Two Rivers. Perhaps I must make plans for the Two Rivers when the snow's clear. Perhaps. As the great lord wishes, Ordaith said blandly. The grimace on Caradin's face as he strode through the halls of the fortress made other men avoid him, though in truth few sought the company of questioners. Servants hurrying about their tasks tried to fade into the stone walls, and even men with golden knots of rank on their white cloaks took side corridors when they saw his face. He flung open the door to his rooms and slammed it behind him, feeling none of the usual satisfaction at the fine carpets from Tarabon and Tyr in lush reds and golds and blues, the bevelled mirrors from Ilion, the gold leaf work on the long, intricately carved table in the middle of the floor. A master craftsman from Lugard had worked nearly a year on that. This time, he barely saw it. Charbon! For once, his body servant did not appear. The man was supposed to be readying the rooms. The light burn you, Charbon! Where are you? A movement caught the corner of his eye, and he turned, ready to shrivel Charbon with his curses. The curses themselves shrivelled, as a Murdral took another step toward him with the sinuous grace of a serpent.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
a man in form, no larger than most, but there the resemblance ended.
Wait, what
Dead
the hell?
black clothes and cloak, hardly
Wait,
seeming to stir
what the hell
as
is
it moved,
happening?
made its maggot-white skin appear even paler. And it had no eyes. That eyeless
No.
gaze filled Caradin with fear, as it had
How the
filled
hell did he get
thousands
in here?
before. Caradin stopped to work moisture back into his mouth, to try bringing his voice back down to its normal register. What are you doing here? It still sounded shrill.
That was crazy.
The halfman's bloodless lips quirked in a smile.
Where
there is shadow, there may I go. Its voice sounded like a snake rustling through dead leaves. I like to keep a watch on all those who serve me. I serve. It was no use. With an effort, Caradin jerked his eyes away from that smooth expanse of pale, pasty face and turned his back. A shiver ran down his spine, having his back to a Murdral. Everything was sharp in the mirror on the wall in front of him. Everything but the half-man. The Murdral was an indistinct blur, hardly soothing to look at, but better than meeting that stare. A little strength returned to Caradin's voice. I serve the... He cut off, suddenly aware of where he was. In the heart of the Fortress of the Light. The rumour of a whisper of the words he was about to say would have him given to the hand of the light. The lowest of the children would strike him down on the spot if he heard. He was alone except for the Murdral, and perhaps Charbon. Where is that cursed man? It would be good to have someone to share the half-man's stare, even if the other would have to be disposed of afterwards. But still he lowered his voice. I serve the great Lord of the Dark as you do. We both serve.
Yo!
If you wish to see it so. The Murdral laughed, a sound that made Caradin's bones shiver. Still, I will know why you are here instead of on Almoth Plain. I was commanded here by word of the Lord Captain Commander. The Murdral grated. Your Lord Captain Commander's words are dung. You were commanded to find the human called Randall Thor and kill him. That before all else, above all else. Why are you not obeying? Caradin took a deep breath.
Yo,
That
again,
gaze on
Rosamund
his back
Pike
felt
bringing
like a
her
knife
A
blade
game,
grating along
chat.
his spine. Things have changed. Some matters are not as much in my control as they were. A harsh scraping noise jerked his head around. The Murdral was drawing a hand across the tabletop, and thin tendrils of wood curled away from its fingernails. Nothing has changed, human. You forswore your oaths to the light, and swore new oaths, and those oaths you will obey. Caradin started at the gouges marring the polished wood and swallowed hard. I don't understand. Why is it suddenly so important to kill him? I thought the great Lord of the Dark meant to use him. You question me. I should take your tongue.
Ooh.
It is not your part to question or to understand. It is your part to obey. You will give dogs lessons in obedience. Do you understand that? Heel, dog, and obey your master.
Oh, hell no.
Anger wormed its way through the fear, and Karadin's hand groped at his side, but his sword was not there. It lay in the next room now, where he had left it on going to attend Pedron Nile. The Murdral moved faster than a striking viper. Karadin opened his mouth to scream as its hand closed on his wrist in a crushing grip. Bones grated together, sending jolts of agony up his arm. The scream never left his mouth, though, for the half-man's other hand gripped his chin and forced his jaws shut. His heels rose up, and then his toes left the floor. Grunting and gurgling,
Oh my
he
God.
dangled in the Murdral's grasp.
Oh my
Hear
God.
me, human. You will find this youth and kill him as quickly as possible. Do not think you can dissemble. There are others of your children who will tell me if you turn aside in your purpose. But I will give you this to encourage you. If this
Yo, it sounds like
Randolph
she's
is
talking
not dead
backwards
in a
and
month,
forwards at the same
I will
time.
take one of your blood. A son, a daughter, a sister, an uncle. You will not know who until the chosen has died, screaming. If he lives another month, I will take another, and then another, and another. And when there is no one of your blood living except yourself, if he still lives, I will take you to Sheol Ghoul itself. It smiled. You will be years in the dying, human. Do you understand me now? Karadin made a sound, half groan, half whimper. He thought his neck was going to break. With a snarl, the Murdral hurled him across the room. Karadin slammed against the far wall and slid to the rug, stunned. Face down, he lay, fighting for breath.
Not face down, ass
Do you
up.
understand me, human? I hear and obey.
Roll it out like a sucker.
Karadin managed into the carpet. There was no answer.
Not
He turned his
into the
head,
carpet.
wincing at the pain in his neck. The room was empty, except for him. Half-men rode shadows like horses, so the legends said, and when they turned sideways, they disappeared. No wall could keep them out. Karadin wanted to weep. He levered himself up, cursing the jolt of pain from his wrist. The door opened, and Sharbon hurried in, a plump man with a basket in his arms. He stopped to stare at Karadin. "Master, are you all right? Forgive me for not being here, master, but I went to buy fruits for your—" With his good hand, Karadin struck the basket from Sharbon's hands, sending withered winter apples rolling across the carpets, and backhanded the man across the face. "Forgive me, master," Sharbon whispered. "Fetch me paper and pen and ink," Karadin snarled. "Hurry, fool! I must send orders." "But which? Which?" As Sharbon scurried to obey, Karadin stared at the gouges in the tabletop and shivered.
Oh my God. What a freaking start, bro. Karadin got played like a bitch and had to, try to bitch somebody else out with Sharbon. That's crazy. What a freaking prologue, yo. Let's check out the epigraph again, because I feel like we didn't get enough. Oh wait, is the epigraph not even? Hold on, let's hear this again too.
"And his paths shall be many, and who shall know his name? For he shall be born among us many times, in many guises, as he has been and ever will be, time without end. His coming shall be like the sharp edge of the plough, turning our lives in furrows from out of the places where we lie in our silence. The breaker of bonds, the forger of chains, the maker of futures, the unshaper of destiny." From Commentaries on the Prophecies of the Dragon, by Jurith Doreen, right hand to the Queen of Almoran, 742 AB, the third age.
Yo, what does AB mean, by the way? Like, what does that mean? You know? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? But yo, W Prologue. All right, let's come on. Let me know all of your thoughts, theories, and questions about the prologue. Let me know if you guys have any questions for me about that. Well, let me know what stood out to you, and I'll let you know what also stood out to me too as we get into my overall thoughts for this prologue. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I did not know what to expect. I did not know what we were going for, but damn, we really went for it, Joe. I really like the epigraph and how they talk about, you know, the maker of futures, the unshaper of destiny, the breaker of bonds, the forger of chains. I love that. Like those are fire. Those are fire names, bro. Those are fire names. Uh I was a little confused as to where we as to what exactly was going on at first, but I quickly caught on again. You know what I mean? Like the white cloaks are white cloaking it up and doing what the hell white cloaks do, and that's being straight up menaces. But it seems to be like they're just trying. It seems everyone is trying to do whatever they can to lock in the midst of all of this crazy shit that's going on with what did he say? It's like where did he go? Oops. Oh, war gripped Taraban and Aradaman. Civil war ripped at Carrion, and war fever was rising in Ter and Ilion, old enemies as they were. Like it's just going down, yo. There's a false dragon in Almith Plain, another Tor at Saldea, and a third plagued Ter. So it's like, bro, there's just it's going down. It's going down everywhere, yo. It's literally going down everywhere in every direction you look. Uh because of, you know, because of the Dragon Reborn making his appearance in the way that he did. Uh which is crazy. And they even talk about that later on, but a lot of names are getting dropped here. Niall, Carradine, what was bro's name? Shabuzi? No, Charbon or Charbin. Like it was just names after. There was a lot of names getting dropped here, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not entirely sure if we have heard a lot of these names before. If we have, no, maybe we have, but my brain is just not turned on at this moment. But that was just fantastic still though, because I was really like I didn't expect to get so much out of this one. Um I don't know, bro. Oh, Rand is the false dragon in Almith Plain. Okay, I knew he was one of the dragons. I just didn't know which one was him exactly. But they just talk about everything. They're like, yo, there's been sightings of a Aiel reported as far as Mirandi. Only two or three, like they're like, yo, only two or three in one place, but 1 or 1,000 Aiel had come out of the waste just once in all 3 years since the breaking. Like, bro, they were dropping crazy lore and world building on us heavily, yo. The Athanmir, this who are also called the Sea Folk. Like, bro, they were just dropping it all on us. And of course, they're even recapping some of the Great Hunt of the things that we saw happen there. But you know, it all points to the last battle against the Shadow. Rumor said and there's also rumors that the Ogier are even locking in and trying to figure out what's going on. Like, bro, I love the way that they have set up the world immediately reacting to the Dragon Reborn so-called returns. Like that, it's something about that that's just really nice. I really appreciate it. Um, we find out more stuff about. We just find out a lot, bro. We found out a lot in this prologue. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised at how much we were going through, especially with the prologue of the last book being completely different, right? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is like our first prologue. I might be wrong about this. Maybe the last one was like this too, but I feel like the last prologue was a flashback. But this prologue does not feel like a flashback. You know what I mean? It feels a little bit more modern day, a little bit more, present day. And I really like that vibe. I like the vibe of getting. It's almost like a previously on the Wheel of Time, and that's kind of how it was. like bro, I just really appreciate that. I really appreciate the way that everybody was. I think Marisu just said it. The world is a kicked anthill, and you really get the entire fallout of that case. And I really, bro, I really like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, Oh, and then how they find out that Bornhold, uh, Brett said, do you mean to, wait, do you now mean me to believe that Bornhold, as a dark friend, led 1,000 of the children to their deaths fighting over dark friends? Bruh, everyone was so fed up, bro. Everyone was so fed up. Like, it was crazy because it was like, as we kept meeting new people, they continued to be fed up with all the shit that was going on. And I thought that was really funny. Like, we went from one person going off about something, and then him ended up going off about something to someone else, and then the chain just continued to go. And that was cool. That was cool. We also find out about these two negatives. Niall asks what proof that he has about these things going on, and basically he's told that as Child BR told him, Bornhold managed to hurt them badly enough that they disappeared, and certainly no one they've questioned would admit for a false dragon. As for proof, it lies in two parts. The first part is that few ships have tried to cross the Arith Ocean, and most never returned. Those that did turned back before they ran out of food and water. Even the sea folk will not cross the Arith, and they sell wherever there is trade, even to the lands beyond the Aiel. If there are any lands across the ocean, they are too far to reach, and the ocean is too wide. To carry an army across it would be as impossible as flying, which I think is a really funny thing for him to say. Uh, and then he's like, and the second part is that many of those that they questioned spoke of monsters fighting for the Dark Friends and held to their claims even under the last degree of the question, which means they've just been torturing people basically to death just to make sure that they're going to tell the truth even when they're about to die, which is absolutely diabolical. Which is absolutely diabolical. And even in bruh being even in what's his name Carradine being right, Niall just was not listening to him at the same time. He didn't want to let him know that he knew that he was right, which is just like one of the things that always becomes the issue in these type of situations. It was also really funny because they kept saying the word Inquisitor, and I just kept thinking about good old Spike Eyes, and I was like, bruh. Oh wait, no, that's not the same Inquisitor. Like, wild that the Inquisitor is used 3 different times, and each time it's used in so many different ways, from the Wheel of Time to Mistborn to Star Wars. Those Inquisitors are very different from each other, but they all kind of have the same premise of one another. And I believe Wheel of Time is the one that, yeah, of course, Wheel of Time came first with the Inquisitor, but it's like, is everyone utilizing the word Inquisitor based off of Wheel of Time, or what? I mean, it's hard to think that they wouldn't. There's so many parallels between Wheel of Time and Star Wars. It's insane. Um, But I think we get the first mention of a High Inquisitor here. I don't remember ever hearing anything about a High Inquisitor before, but I might be mistaken. You know what I mean? I might be mistaken about that. But the High Inquisitor, I don't remember there being anything about a High Inquisitor before until right now. We get they talk of they also talk about the Aes Sedai who are attacking the White Cloaks, but I believe that the Aes Sedai that they're talking about who are attacking White Cloaks are in fact actually the people that are working with the Shan or the Damani that are working for the Shan. I don't think it's actually Aes Sedai. I'm pretty sure they're just assuming they're Aes Sedai since they're women that can channel, if I'm not mistaken. Uh Oh, and then we also hear about how and then I love the way that they talked about the dice rolling. Big shout out to Mari Sue because she had told me to kind of take that dice stuff and kind of try to implement it into my own stuff. So I really love the way that they kind of said as the dice roll in a different way. He felt the cold, the dice were spinning with no way of telling what pips would show when they stopped. The last battle truly was coming, not the Tarman Gaiden of legend, with the Dark One breaking free to be faced by the Dragon Reborn. Not that, he was sure. The Aes Sedai of the Age of Legends might have made a hole in the Dark One's prison at Shaiol Ghul, but Lews Therin Kinslayer and his 100 companions had sealed it up. The counter stroke had tainted the male half of the true source and was driven and drove them mad. Wait, of the true source forever and driven them mad, and so begun the breaking. But one of the ancient Aes Sedai could do what 10 of the Tarvalon witches of today could not. The seals they made would hold. Which is a crazy bit of lore and information right there, right? Because one, we're hearing about the Aes Sedai of legend and how they were so strong that they were able to do what the ones now have not. So that one, for one, that lets us know that we have lost key bits of information or parts of the magic system with the one side of the power being tainted, which makes sense because they would try to do everything they could to stop the information and all that maybe being spread. And it also makes sense that you probably need both halves to make a whole, as is how most things work. Uh, the counterstroke is another term that I'm not sure if we have heard that before. Yeah, the counterstroke tainted the male half of the true source forever and drove them mad and thus begun the breaking. But one of those ancient Aes Sedai could do what 10 of the Tarvalon witches today could not. Like, what? Dreadlords is another thing I'm not sure if we've heard before. So Nile, uh, Caridian, Caridin, Nile, Caridin, or Deith, and someone else pulled up too, right? So who the hell was the who was the Madral? Because we didn't. God damn it! So many names, bro. So we got Charbon. Help me. You know about the guy that gave you in the glossary. That's not what we're talking about. The curses themselves shriveled as the Madral took another step closer to them. Da-da-da-da. Niall studied the face in the chalk, swearing all four of the two rivers, as the great lord wishes. Or Death said blandly, the grimace on Carradin's face as he strode through the halls of the fortress made other men avoid him, though in truth few sought the company of questioners anyway. Forgive me, great lord, or Death made a deep bow, his smile never slipping. I hate dark friends. Let's go. Okay. Who the hell is Dan the Madral? Sometimes a Madral is just a fade. Don't answer that. No. Wait, don't answer what? That's not fair. The hell is Wormwood? What are we talking about? There's so many names. What's happening? Ordeath means wormwood in the old tongue. Shannon Charbon. Okay, Charbon. I got you. This is why we need a whiteboard. I don't know if you guys will be able to see the whiteboard though. Oh shit. Ow. That was my entire dome piece. I'm gonna have to get like a whiteboard camera angle so I can like stand up and then we can see. This is all my book. This is all my new book stuff, chat. You probably can't see it, so it's fine. But these are all gods in a new book that I'm creating. Let's hope I wrote all this down. What the hell is happening? I don't know what's going on. Okay. I don't need all the names. Why is this so wibbly wobbly? Wibbly wobbly. Yeah, we can't read that. Good. Weren't gonna read it anyway. All right. I will wipe the rest later. And then right after locking it, now I need to move this bitch. Go sideways with it. Oh shit. So we have a lot of characters that we first get. Oh shit. That we get introduced to right off the back, right? So we got. I'm just gonna write shit down. Hopefully you guys can see this. So we got maybe bigger. That shit is shiny than a motherfucker, ain't it? Uh, this is so uncomfortable. You can't really see that shit. I don't know I had space over here. Pedron. Pedron Nile. I don't know if Jarrett actually made an appearance, but they said that man's name. Jarrett Br. What's the other brother's name? Carradine. I do need a girthy marker. You're right. Do I have a girthy marker? They're all in other colors. I don't know if it'll show up. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't think I have any girthy. Never mind. That was about to get wild, that statement. Yeah, you can't see shit. Man. That's unfortunate. What are we going to do about this, chat? Because I don't think you can see anything from that. Jesus. That was scary. A lot almost went down just now. When in doubt, digital age it out. Whoa. Okay. There we go. Let's get all that stuff off of here real quick. Barrel chicka wow wow. And now window capture. Bam. Bam. I don't know why it's not going sideways. I guess we got to do it straight up. Let's actually, what the hell? Let's try an unseen and then go back to it. Still not going sideways. That's lame as hell, boy. All right. Let's see. So, again, we have. Oh, I got to go straight head up. I forgot. We have. I don't know why shit is looking like this. Okay. Oh, and then it turns it back when I get in here. Oh, I see why. There we go. All right, my bad. All right, we're locked in. So we have Padron Nile. We have Jarrett BR. Bruh's name was Carradine or Caridian. Carradine, some shit like that. Caradian. What else? Or Dayeth. That's what Bruh's name was. Or Day. Or Dayeth. Was there anybody else? With Plains, Aldia. Aes Sedai. Oh, Jai. Oh no, yeah, Jai Kim is Carradine. Oh, those are what is that? 2 R's. Oh, and it's a. I was right. Carradine. All right. So this dude was the Lord Commander, right? Or whatever. Is that right? This dude is dumb. This is the dude that talked to the Fade. I don't know if those things are synonymous with one another. I always forget. And then who the hell is this dude? Who is this guy? What did he do? Oh, Charbon. Didn't deserve the hate. iPad started dying. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Big nose. If Fate is he is the Lord Commander, as in Lord of the Captain's Commander, who are the commanders of the captains who are in charge of the lower ranks. It's a thing. All right, I got you, LBF. I got you, LBF. I'm with you. Hashtag Charbon deserves what he gets. Yo, that's crazy. Oh yeah, the random withdrawal. Random withdrawal. This is why I like the Notes app a little bit better, though. Because then I can just scroll for days. So let's go. Padron, Nile. We'll leave a few spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we'll write prologue here. So that was Pedro Neal, Jarrett BR. What is the name? Jai Kim. Oh, Caridian. Caridian. Or Death. Is that next? Yeah. Or Death. Charbon. Rando Midral. Okay. Lord, Captain, Commander. Dummy. Was Carradine. Uh, threatened and then manhandled by Madral. Oops. Oops. Madral. Big nose. Slimy. Charbon. Doesn't deserve the hate. Rando Madral gave hella orders, right? Bro came through, gave hella orders. Charbon is a white cloak. Okay, I understand. Doesn't deserve the hate, but still a whitey. Randall withdrawal. He dropped orders on that ass. Nope. Okay. Oh, okay. Oops. Told, what's that dude's name? Told Carradine his fam would die. Told Carradine it's his family or Rand, which is diabolical. Has to kill Rand. That was about the gist of it, right? Outside of all the lore. Okay, so Ordeath was the snitch. He's basically just a snitch, right? Yeah, the Madral did. Yeah, I agree. Knows ballsies orders. Don't care for this Rand guy, but if you have to go for it, can you start with my weird Uncle Ned? Bruh did know a lot about Rand. That's right. That's right. Uh, knows a lot about Team Dragon. Bro did know a lot about. You're right. He did know a lot. He knew about Perrin. He knew about everything, which is weird. So was bruh a dark friend maybe? Is he amongst your ranks, Charisse? Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. The plot thickens. Okay. Let's see. Charbon just wanted fresh fruit for his master. Bro's just trying to do the best he can. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, Marisu. And Marisu. Sorry, didn't mean to leave you out. Carradine was using Ordeath for intel. Oh. Was intel. Oh, Niall was using him. Oh. Dragon Reborn rumors. Shanchan. I Sedai. Aiel. Sea people. Cause he was dropping mad bombs for real. Though this Midral is weird, it laughed and supposedly they never do that. I thought that too. He had more personality for sure. Had more personality. The funny thing is, none of these names will be important next week. Wow, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, I'm just playing. He was so unpresidential, right? Best person and governor of my state for a long time. Can't believe how we got to today. Oh wait, I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's why they made such a big deal out of Howard Dean yelling at that rally. They thought he was yelling BR. This is a very well designed set of notes, but I assure you that by book 9, your notes will expand to look like Charlie's murder board in the memes. I believe that. And I think I have a solution for stuff like that. Is like being able to like zoom in on a whiteboard. Like I think there's a whiteboard style thing that I can use on my iPad to be able to zoom in on stuff and make connections to other stuff as well. Because I really want to be able to zoom in and zoom out and then just be able to connect certain dots in different places. After this prologue, it seems like Niall is ready to win the Game of Thrones. Is it called the Game of Thrones or is it, no? It's the Game of Houses, right? Because I'm pretty sure I said the Game of Houses earlier, and I want to make sure that I wasn't wrong about what I said. That is it actually the Game of Thrones? Because I was gonna say that, but I thought that was wrong. What the hell are fractal notes? Fractal notes sounds awesome. Bruh, you because I mean, Marcio, I know a lot of the stuff you say, it's not like you're making it up, but damn, bro, fractal notes is just such a like that term just sounds amazing. Fractal notes. Like, bro, what? That literally fits in perfect with something that I'm writing right now. Like that's insane. That is truth. That is truly crazy. Yeah, houses, Game of Houses. Okay, for sure. All right, well, I think we have it, yo. Ducking out for the dusty wheel, but we'll be back later. Yo, I appreciate you, yo. I appreciate you for tuning in with us, LBF, man. I hope you have a good day. We're probably about to wrap it up over here too. Yo, 3 to 6 is actually a solid time. It gives because then people can go from here to the dusty wheel or whatever, and then when Wheel of Time is happening, well, everybody's gonna still be at the dusty wheel because dusty will be live for like 48 days for the shows, bro. That shit is insane. Like it's literally wild how long they're live for when it comes to stuff. I wish I could watch them, but damn, bro, I just can't. It's so spoilery, yo. It's so spoilery over there. Tell them to have a what's it called? A spoiler free section for your boy Sensei at Marvel Bros. You might see me in the chat over there. I try to be in the chat sometimes, and then I just be like, all right, bro, I'm out. It's too spoilery. Bye, everybody. Love you guys. Bye. That's how I be in the Dusty Will chat for real. Next week will be a whirlwind. I'm so excited, bro. Yeah, we will be from here on out. We will be checking these out, or not checking these out, but we'll be doing these every week from here on out. Let me drop that list again. Here you go. From Watcher to Reader, season 3. Here are the days, episodes, and dates correlating with that. So make sure you guys put it in your calendar, write it down, so you can be all locked in and ready. And are ready to go. That nose looked like a ball sack. Why didn't you guys tell me? They do have some episodes that are spoiler leveled, but you'd have to have a mod check them first. Yeah, bruh. I already know it's not worth it, bruh. I know they're going full spoilers over there. Even when they try not to, they still are. You know what I mean? It's just too hard. It's a very expansive and immersive book series. So I definitely understand how it be. But I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in with me and being here for our overall thoughts, our overall discussion, and going over the prologue. It was a really, really fun time. I'm not going to lie to you. I loved it. I love this book. I'm so happy to have From Watcher to Readers back. It's a good time, and I think we're going to continue to have a really good time with this series going into the next one. Don't forget to check out Marvelous Reading, because I'm going to be dropping a whole bunch of the Wheel of Time, Mistborn, and other related content over there on that channel. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. I definitely appreciate all of you guys, because god damn, y'all was pulling up tonight. I hope we can get this key. I hope we can continue to have, a good turnout when it comes to these watch parties. When it comes to book club, and all that good stuff. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff for other book clubs and other things. So just tune in and be ready. Tonight is also the season finale for Creature Commandos, so we're going to be checking that out. We'll be going live at 11 p.m. PST, so we can recap some of the old episodes and just get it in and get ready to nerd out for tonight's finale. So hope to see most of you guys back for that, or if not, that's fine too. And I just hope to see you guys next week for episode 1 of From Watcher to Reader, where we go over chapters 1 through 12. So let's get it pit, pop, plopping, and slopping. I might even do some of these things in Discord. So if you guys are in Discord, you might see like a notification of like me reading this, and then it might be me doing it live in the Discord, going over it, getting ready for book club. Just different content like that is going to be readily available for everybody. So check it out. Tune in with Discord. Tune in with all the things that we have. It's been awesome. And don't forget, make sure that you like the video if you like the video, because it definitely helps out tremendously around these parts. You can also follow us on social media at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with all things Marvel and everything pop culture. You can follow me on all platforms at Sensei Finito to stay up to date with all my thoughts, theories, and opinions on whatever particular thing I may be partaking in at that particular time. And of course, don't forget to drop a like, share, and do all those things, because it helps out so much. And if you want to support us here at Marvel Bros, you always can by becoming a Brovenger, sending a super thanks and or a super chat, and we will always get into that. So it's been amazing to start this off with you guys tonight, and here's to the next 7 episodes that we have lined up for some good old fashioned book club vibes. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. As I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.